Hey,
Welcome everybody. It's Micah and the ZakHammer right here with Tavern Geek podcast. We are a podcast out here on social media world,
no
and
one knows other than
we
the
uh,
camera.
we are.
Sorry, man. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, you're okay. It's all good. This is part
It's
of.
Jess's fault. It's not my fault. I'm blaming Jess. So anyway, go.
Jess just became the star of the episode. Yeah.
I mean, she tried to flip you off, but I'm already like a silhouette, so
Yeah.
he can't see anything that's going on here anyway. So.
Yeah, it's like I wouldn't be able to see. It would be kind of cool if her finger just like came over into the like picture and it was
It's
just like
a
floating
finger
in front of your head like this. I'd be like, it's like,
what the fuck was that?
Is this The Conjuring? What's going on?
That's awesome.
But yeah, all right. What's up, everybody? Micah and Zak Hammer here with Tavern Geek. What's up, Zak? Zak is back.
Back for good.
Yeah, it's been a minute. You guys you guys out there have had to endure the voices of Byron and Derek.
They're pretty enjoyable though.
Yeah, they're all right. They're all right. So anyway, it is July 30th, 2021, and the NBA has been doing some crazy shit stuff. But
I already said another cuss word anyway, so
so anyway, before we get started, I am enjoying a wonderful IPA called Laser Raptors from Aslan Brewing up in DC, Herndon, Virginia. This is a wonderful beer. It is a double, and there is no description on it, or I would read it to you. Anyway, so first things first, Russell Westbrook has been traded to the Los Angeles Lakers for Kyle Kuzma, Montrezl Harrell, Tavius Caldwell-Pope, and a draft pick that became Isaiah. I don't know if it's Isaiah Todd or something else. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. Well, it does matter, but I can't remember. Anyway, and I think he ended up with the Pacers, so it was kind of a weird thing. But anyway, Russell Westbrook is now teamed up with Anthony Davis and LeBron James. Zak, how do you feel?
I'm interested to see the lineup. I don't really understand how it'll play out. Who's playing what? I mean, hell, you could end up seeing Westbrook play the three, you know. I mean, at least at that point, he wouldn't feel necessary pressure to shoot the three. But I mean, I'm sure he could shoot a three better than I can. But from my microphone, I can analyze that way, I guess.
Well, he probably can shoot lots of shots better than you. No offense.
Yeah. No, but, I mean it's okay. I take it. Yeah.
But on his level, he is not a proficient 3-point shooter like some other people. So, and he likes to fire shots sometimes, which are some of the things that we get aggravated with Russell Westbrook. But what we love about Russell Westbrook is his competitiveness and his fire and his athleticism and his, just his overall, force that he drives. So it'll be interesting with that teamed up with LeBron, who does similar things. And then Davis having the basketball IQ like he does. Like, this is going to be a very, very interesting duo. It's a duo of players I didn't think were going to be together. I really did think that the Lakers were going to pull some crazy stuff and get Chris Paul, but I guess my sons are trying to hold on to him, which is a good thing. But
he said he wanted it too, though, which, I mean, I get it. I think he should stay, though. Y'all ran it. I mean, I don't really know what happened exactly, but
well, we could talk about that. But let's
isn't that like, it's like taking a scab off the I don't want to take the scab off so early.
Yeah, it's definitely something we should talk about. But yeah, Russ. Like I think you and I were chatting earlier. We were talking about what if the Lakers, also decided to stack a little bit more on this and make a sign and trade happen that involved maybe a 3-team deal, with Toronto, and they were able to somehow acquire Kevin Love from the Cavaliers and lose Dennis Schroeder. That would be a cool thing because they would have to sign Schroeder first and then trade him, and then they would have to take on whatever Kevin Love brings, which they could do if they trade Schroeder. But
Yeah.
uh, that would add and give you this fourth thing, kind of like what the Nets did when they grabbed Blake Griffin, and LaMarcus Aldridge. They were kind of trying to find that one fourth factor who is usually like now I notice like with big threes, like or a big four, an example, like they'll go out and they'll build their big three, but then they always have that fourth player that is a vet, that has competed on a high level before. Um, so that's an important thing. Kind of Danny Green's probably underrated in this area, but he's one of those players because he's won chips, being with the Spurs and all. So the Lakers kind of had him last year in that spot. Um, and in this year, with the Bucks, it was a little different because they didn't really have anybody. I don't think on their team that has rolled through a championship. So that was really special for that team. But but yeah. So what do you think, like, if they traded for Kevin Love, what do you think like he would bring to the table?
I mean, I feel like at this point, the reality is the game is all about movement. Uh, I mean, are they going to be able to move together
That's true.
like efficiently? I guess I should say, because Love isn't. Which, granted, I can say, oh, he's not the fastest person, and he's fucking. I couldn't keep up with him, obviously, but like, he's not the fastest person in the league, and he's recently injury prone. So pushing him to sprint down and up and down the court all game, might not be the best. Westbrook is obviously going to be pushing the pace anyway. So I don't know. That would be, but I've been wrong before. So I don't know. That would
I think
it'd be good
I think
either
one
way. But
one thing with having Kevin Love there is because he and Westbrook played at UCLA together. They were the big two on that team. And reuniting them would be that's why Kevin Love wears 0, because it's Russ's number. And he wore his number, on the Timberwolves. And then when he went to the Cavs, he started wearing 0 because, he and Russ are tight. So, like, that could be like a really, and he's already tight with LeBron. Like, he and LeBron won a championship together and they know how to play with each other. So, it's like an
and
injury.
I mean, yeah, that's adding a three that we were talking about. I mean, Love can drain the three. He could trail three. Like I said, I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm just saying, like, you're talking about a team that's gonna want to be. I feel like they're gonna be quick, no
Yeah.
matter what. I mean, even with LeBron and AD and everybody moving down there, I mean, they're gonna be quick. They're gonna have pick and roll, and God knows how it's gonna be moving through that defense, man. Like, you're
Now,
gonna have
defensively,
like triple tower. Goodness, man, that's gonna be. Plus, Westbrook's crazy. He could guard anybody realistically.
yeah. And competing at that level when like you're in your hometown and you're playing for the team you grew up idolizing, that I mean that kind of changes your demeanor too when you're out there playing
Oh
basketball.
yeah.
So um that's going to be a really interesting to see out of him. But like you and I were saying earlier, we were talking, about LeBron just kind of taking over that 2 spot and playing the 2 now, like at an elite level, once again, and just kind of being a quintessential like old school shooting guard on this team, like to take up that Kobe or that Michael mantle that could get him like going out of the league like they did. Which would mean LeBron would have to develop, and he already has a decent set shot, but like he would have to develop a murderous jump shot. Like
it'd have to be crazy.
Like it'd have to be an unstoppable jump shot, because you're trying to step into that realm of Kobe Bryant and MJ. Like those jumpers at the end of their careers and the way they could shoot the mid range was insane. Like it was like, okay, so I don't really have the athleticism I had when I was younger, to attack the basket. And now that, I can get the ball pretty easy in the mid range. Well, why don't I dominate this? And Michael was shooting jump shots like just fair, just shy of that of the middle circle of the foul line. Like that shot he let off on Byron Russell was it was a deep mid range shot, and he was overly confident knocking those things down.
Hell yeah.
So
yeah, he was.
So like if LeBron can do that on this Lakers team and turn up his mid-range game, they pick up Kevin Love, to shoot the threes, and maybe, grab some other people. Maybe Taylor Horton Tucker develops a good 3-point shot that's solid. Maybe they pick up some other notable free agents that can knock down the trays, like a guy like Anthony Tolliver, who's been in the league forever. He was on your Blazers for a little bit. He can
like him.
He's old as dirt, man, but he can knock down a tray. Like he can knock down some threes.
Hell yeah. He was there when we watched him, wasn't he?
Yeah, when we went to that game.
Wasn't he on the Blazers then? Yeah, that's what I thought.
I think
he just recently got traded.
Yeah, well, no, I think he left the Blazers. I think they traded him last season. He played with
halfway through or something.
I want to say he was on the Grizzlies or he was on,
I can't remember.
Maybe the Kings for a little bit. I can't remember either. I know he got tossed around last year, but sometimes when your skill set is where it's at, that's what happens. What I call getting Trevor Ariza. Get traded to 4 different teams within an hour.
Yeah. Never step foot anywhere.
Yeah. But yeah, like he would be a good pickup. I mean, I just mentioned one. Ariza would be a good pickup if they could nab him somehow. But they're gonna have to also find a young player outside of Caruso and Tucker that can create for them. Like Buddy Hield would be absolutely perfect at this moment, in which he can swap between the 3 and the 2. So LeBron could still play that fantasy 2 that you and I have going on right now. And Buddy Hield could play the 3 or come in and be a shooter or whatnot and come out.
With how developed the game is now, what is the 2, if he was the 3, quote unquote, he could do all the same things. He could still have that mid. He could be the guy inside the paint. I mean, he already has a turnaround. He could do work on the Kobe footwork, and both Kobe and Jordan. Everybody has crazy footwork. So, and LeBron has that too. But I guess my point is just that the label isn't going to change what he would do. If he could do that, he'd still go out as that level anyway.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. This is crazy, man.
It's really crazy.
It seems like the Lakers were able to get rid of their 2, problem players they had last year in Kuzma and Harrell, who were looked at to be some pretty potential like big pieces to that team, and they didn't do really. Harrell definitely didn't do what he did on the Clippers, and Kuzma Kuzma has been in La La Land. I don't know what's going on with him, man, because
I think he's more worried about his fashion.
It's strange, but he'll go up to DC now and he can do whatever he wants. That's a growing organization. Maybe he'll take off. Maybe he'll be the star of that team. I don't know.
Damn, is that who we got to see when we go there now?
Yeah, if we go up there, it's like him and Bradley. Bradley Beal's still there. He's decided he wants to dedicate his career to Washington because
he's gonna stay.
He's decided to stay.
Oh man, hold on. Okay.
Oh man.
Okay. Sorry, man. My cat's
fur
baby.
Yeah,
she's anyway. Damn, he's gonna stay even with all that.
Yeah, Beal's gonna stay on that team. He said that basically like Giannis has inspired him because Giannis has stayed with the Bucks through thick and thin, and they got a chip.
Yeah,
they did it. Now, I mean, that can be argued because you had injuries in Brooklyn and you had injuries in LA, both sides of LA. I mean, Kawhi was also out, so those are your top dogs with winning championships that were all out. Like,
also with a side note of the fact that PG showed the fuck up. I mean, he was there.
Yeah,
like,
he
consistently.
Balled. Yeah, PG,
I mean, I hated that for him.
PG played hard, man, but honestly, the Clippers played us really well. And it was at a point where I was like, I don't know if we're going to pull it off against the Clippers. Like they're doing some like very mature things with the basketball that we're not used to defending. Our younger defenders like Ayton and Bridges and Booker and these guys. Like, I mean, Crowder and CP3 can handle all that. They've been in the league a long time. But I noticed Zubac, man, he could not handle Ayton was too fast. Ayton was dominant. Which honestly
hadn't really done much in the past couple of years. Anyway, keep going with what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. He is Zubac, but I mean, that's who they had. And they had Boogie Cousins on him. And like Ayton was just too much for all of them. He was too fast. His turnaround dunks were insanely quick. He had so much enthusiasm in that series. But when he got to Milwaukee, holy shit, dude, he just burned out.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to him.
I don't know. He got eaten up.
It was bad, man. Like, I watched him go down over the course of 6 games.
Yeah.
Like, he was on this torrential high, and they got the first 2 games like pretty easy. And he was just unstoppable those 2 games. And then that 3rd game came around and they just figured him out. They had him done, dude. And it was all like, Giannis just kept getting better and better as the games went on. And, I should have seen it ahead of time. Like, Giannis just had he had the fire, man. He had it, man. He had what Kobe carried, what Michael.
Yeah, he did.
He was LeBron's had it, man. He was ready to win, man. And after I watched game 4, I just had this gut feeling like we're not going to come back. Like, it's not going to happen. They have figured us out. And that's what happened. Like, CP3 didn't have anything else to work with. So when you have a team that's got a lot of young players on it, a lot of the things that you find is your basketball IQ, your ability to adapt in super intense situations. So CP3 being a point guard, first of all, like, yes, he can take over games, which he did do towards the end of the series, and so did Devin Booker. I'm not going to leave Devin Booker out because he balled. Like,
he did.
He tried to keep the team alive, and yeah, he's the future, man. He may be the next Kobe we're talking about, but like, you have basketball IQs aren't all the way there, and when your big is getting destroyed, and your best defensive player and Mikal Bridges is struggling to keep up with Drew Holiday, and like Drew Holiday is just balling his ass off. Like, it was too hard. Like, to
Middleton too. I mean, all the Bucks, like, you had 4 of them dropping nasty stats every single night. And then, going back to Giannis, I agreed after game 4. I was kind of like just keeping up with things, trailing with the stats and the games and scores and stuff. But I was watching highlights and I mean, he wanted it. Like you could just tell. And going from being unstoppable to whatever he did in game, 5 and 6, that was
Game
his
6.
his alley-oop. Which one was the one that he did the alley-oop dunk where his body was behind the backboard when he caught it?
Oh, that was in game 5, man. Yeah.
That was crazy.
His performance alone in game 6 was insane. I mean, he had 40,
Yeah.
he had 40 points?
50 points, right?
Yeah, he had 50 points, 11 rebounds, and like
4 assists, 5 blocks.
Yeah, he had 5 blocks, man.
Yeah.
Like the Suns could do anything when they were down the court. He was there. He was like, I am the unstoppable spider monkey.
Dude, I was watching a highlight on that too. He did like a chase down block.
Oh yeah,
pretty much the full court, and they didn't even see him coming. Oh man, that was crazy. But see, and then realistically now, where does the league go from here? Everybody's got to figure out. You had to figure out LeBron. Now you got to figure out Giannis. You got to stop him. How?
It's like,
especially if you pull somebody else, because now he's a magnet.
Yeah.
Now you got people wanting to go there for a pay cut.
It wouldn't surprise me that Milwaukee picks up maybe like 1 or 2 super hardened like veterans that just hang out on championship teams. That will be like, It would not surprise me at all if Danny Green ends up there.
No, you're right though.
Like it wouldn't surprise me at all. It wouldn't surprise me at all if trying to think here, what's his name? It was on the tip of my tongue. Oh well.
I wish I could answer it for you, but I can't.
Yeah, man, that's bad. JJ
Life
Redick
happens. There you go. Also, yes, that would be a good one.
JJ Redick would be a great and then, now we're with the Lakers. JJ Redick could be somebody the Lakers could pick up. He got traded to Dallas like mid-series last year and like just didn't really fit in with the Mavs. Like
no, he didn't.
So like the Lakers could pick him up for shooting. But yeah.
It's still like all about movement in my brain. Like when I think about the Lakers, that's a lot of big, wide, slow moving towers. And if you're moving fluid around the court, that's just like stagnating everything up. Again, I'm going to say all this and they're going to come out and fucking blow everybody out and I'm going to be wrong, but I don't know.
So,
but that would be a good, he would work there. The 3-ball, like we were talking about, they needed.
Yeah, he would. That'd be a good pickup. So, moving forward, USA basketball. I don't know how much you've been keeping up with what's going on with our national teams.
I know they lost the one or the guys, but then, you go ahead and just update me like I don't know, so then I can be caught up for sure.
Well, they got their asses handed to them by France.
Okay, that's what I thought. With like Fournier went crazy and dropped like 28 points or something like that.
And they've got a lot of roads ahead of them, and they haven't played Spain yet. And Spain is usually always nasty because I think Spain's like Pau and Marc Gasol are on that team.
Yeah.
Serge Ibaka is on that team. I think Ricky Rubio is on that team. Like
it's gonna be crazy.
Spain is not Saric. Saric. No, Saric is on he's another country out in like, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, but
I think you're right.
Spain is a nasty team.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a tough one for them, but they made the comeback win. They got their asses handed to them by Spain, and then by France, and then they played Iran, which Iran doesn't have really any notable NBA players. Maybe none. But they stomped the living crap out of them. It was crazy.
It was like you were like trying to like lift them up a little, and then you're like, no, yeah, like they
like
they were going against high schoolers there. Like, let's be real.
That just
you got
just highlights the talent of the players that we love and the sport that we love. Like, no offense to Iran, like they had a team full of pro players from their country that's pretty badass. So like they're way better than me. But like Devin Booker and Dame Lillard and Kevin Durant ate you for breakfast. Like, especially Dame. I think Dame had a big game. But
well, I mean, they wanted revenge. I mean, it's not even that you don't have an NBA player on your team. You are pros, but you're also having an American team wanting to come back for revenge. Like, it's like, okay, we got our butts spanked. That's not going to happen again. Which, I mean, it probably will. Like, I can't say that won't, but like for sure, from here on out, I feel like everybody's going to be on their A game.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, but we had a lot of discussions on Twitter, back and forth with some guys on there. Big shout out to Brody Sports. I've enjoyed tweeting with their Twitter account and their podcast, and Mash from Hops Geek News, of course, got into some things, and we started like building basically our own dream team. Like, these guys need to get here, these guys need to get there. And then D showed up with the Kish and came in there and gave this like super long paragraph. Everybody's like, but
it's always so informative though,
yeah.
for sure.
But we were talking about that, and I made the statement, what if this dream team was or this USA team was Curry, Harden, Kawhi, LeBron, and Durant? What if those 5 guys were on this team? And then I started naming some other guys like Kyrie, Klay Thompson, just on guys who aren't on the team that, whether it's health or whatever, they're not on the team right now that are the best in the league. And like Derek, man, made a great point. He said, I wouldn't want Harden or Kyrie. You just kind of let them go. I'd much rather have somebody like CP3. Drew Holiday is already on the team and he's good to have. Like, and I was like, what, he's right. Like, if you go back and you look at the 92 Dream Team, yeah, those were the best players in the league, but they were picked. There was a reason why Chris Mullin is picked over like a Dominique Wilkins or a Isaiah Thomas or whatnot. Chris Mullin meshed with those players. So when they built that team, we were like, okay, Michael and Scotty have to be on this team, period. So in order to do that, we can't put certain people on this team because the competitive level between them is the way that it is, and they wouldn't mesh well together. With the guys we have now, it's style of play. It's Kyrie, is going to do what Kyrie does. Harden is going to do what he does. They're going to dribble around for like 20 seconds of the 24 every possession and shoot and fire up threes. So it's like, and they're going to nail them. Don't get me wrong, but you take them out and you run a lineup with CP3 and Steph Curry playing the 2 guard spots. Like, that's pretty deep, man. And that would be hard to deal with. But yeah, like who would you want? Who do you think like is missing from the USA basketball scene? Like what player could affect that right now that's not playing currently?
I mean, for sure, Curry. Like, I don't know. In my opinion, I feel like he's the best point guard in the league. I think he should be on any dream team ever at this point for whatever, number one you want to say. But otherwise, too, I don't know, man. Like, it's like Ewing said, like the world caught up.
Yeah.
Like you could put whoever you want in there, but the reality is, like, dude, by the way, I don't know if you can hear in the background, I have a barn owl screeching. So there isn't anybody getting murdered around me. It's just this crazy screaming owl. Anyway, but like the world caught up. Like, I mean, we used to be dominant. And the world's like, yeah, we want to be dominant too.
Yeah.
And then it's like too, like Dame was saying, when they're playing France and you have Fournier, you have people playing for their country. There's a difference, like especially if that's there, like that makes a big difference on the team. Like their drive, their mentality, everything's way different, you know. So I guess maybe on that side of things, pull somebody that would kind of, I don't know, drive that home, like give some unity. LeBron.
LeBron would help that. Yeah.
Like somebody that would be like, hey, let's go. Oh, hey, steam train, everybody jump on. Like, I don't know. That makes sense. But I don't know, man. I think I'm going to stick with my first answer with, the world is at our level and you could put anybody in there. But the reality is, if they don't play a perfect game, they could lose.
The competition is much more steeper, and you've got to assemble the best team ever. Like it's needed. Like when the dream team played, like they put together the best team ever created, and they like bulldozed through the Olympics. And the Olympics are different now. It's very different now because it was because of that USA basketball team. We have players like Luka Doncic and Dirk Nowitzki and all of the, Evan Fournier, like all these guys, man, that are out there, all these international guys that are amazing. So it's like, it is different now. So you need your best players that represent your country out there. That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like, like LeBron, Steph, like if they could play, they should be on that roster. Anthony Davis, CP3.
Imagine the morale that pulls through with that, even those four.
Yeah.
Even those four. Like, oh God, like anybody on that roster at that point is like, yes, they are. And like, now I think that it's more of just like, oh damn, we're just kind of like a second looked at team.
Yeah. Second or third place team. Spain and France, Argentina, these are big countries that can ball. So it's like, and Japan is rising up. Rui Hashimura just plays like a freaking like insane dude when he's in the Olympics. It's like, why don't you do that in Washington, man? Maybe you will. I don't know. But yeah, it's wild.
He's still getting paid in Washington no matter what. So
yeah,
I get it.
I will say it is nice having Dame on this team. He deserves to be there, and KD's always should be on that team. And I'm thinking of like all these players. The three players I would take from this team and infuse with kind of like that team I put together that's not there would be Jrue Holiday, Devin Booker, and Jason Tatum. I would put them on that team. And, honestly, maybe, and this is a thought that just came to me, and you'll probably you might geek out over this. This is the geek out moment from Tavern Geek when Micah randomly thinks of something while he's thinking about something else and he geeks out.
I like it. Sounds good. That's
what happens. So we got a couple of years from now. LeBron's probably going to be too old to compete in this type of thing, and yada yada yada. Like that era, those guys like Curry, LeBron, like those guys. So you're looking at a team a USA team of Trae Young, of Devin Booker, of Jason Tatum. I mean, those are going to be the big three. Like that's going to be the big three to move forward with our USA players. And we may, we'll have Zion, Ja Morant. Like,
yeah,
we're going to get a USA team. I feel like maybe the next go around of Olympics that may not have any of these guys on there that we want on there. And because they would be they would be effective now. I'm not saying they won't be effective in the future, but you're looking at the prime of these players they're going to be in their like absolute prime at that point. So, Julius Randle's another one. These guys, Karl Anthony Towns, like hopefully, but like, Bam is already there, but I take that back. I would take Bam. So my bad.
We'll go with that. Yeah.
But yeah, like
I like that better.
I think it would be really cool to get this like crazy, like constructed younger team all together. And then James Harden comes in on the team, kind of like Carmelo Anthony did in the latter part of his career with the USA teams, and to get another gold medal and to just like play alongside these guys. Maybe he becomes humble, because I really feel like at the end of the season this year, he was showing some humility. I know he was hurt like badly, and he was just facilitating because that's all he could really do. His shot was bad.
Yeah.
But it was almost humbling to him. So I think James Harden will come out in the next couple of years as an evolved player, like a good vet. But man, that would be a killer team.
Yeah.
With those young guys. All right, I'm done. Peace.
No, you're good. I still think though, like, is Harden that guy though? Like, I do agree. Trae Young, Tatum. You could even throw Jaylen Brown in there if he keeps rolling how he is. But like, who are the ones that it can't be Trae Young? He's like an Allen Iverson to me. Granted, whether or not that's not the case and how it would play there, I don't know.
No, he's very similar.
The stage that is, Trae Young thrives on that stuff.
Trae Young is like, he's like Allen Iverson and Damian Lillard had a baby.
Yeah. 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 Right. But so who's the one that, like, it's got to be somebody that everybody likes. If Harden is that guy, I don't know.
I'm just thinking of who might be the elder guy in the league at that period that can still.
Would it be Curry?
I think Curry might be best.
Who would be the big? Who would be the big at that point? Zion, maybe he's the guy.
Zion could be big. Bam and Towns as your centers if they could work together, would be very. Towns in general. Towns has the ability to be the best five in the league.
Yeah, he does.
It's insane. He drives me crazy because he's so freaking good, but he's so. It's weird, man.
Yeah, he's so lazy. Again, making this judgment sitting at home, but like, I don't know. Why not work for it? Like, you have the opportunity. You're there with your best friend now. Like, what are you doing?
I don't know. Well, I guess we'll see what happens this year with the Timberwolves. Maybe we'll do the most boringest podcast ever and just only talk about the Timberwolves.
They wouldn't necessarily. I like that team. It's the reality is, again, it's my theory on movement. Like, you have teams that move efficiently. It's a time thing, because the score at the end of the game, granted, if there's defense in there, whatever, but like, the person who scores the most efficiently wins. So, like, the way that things go now in a split second, it's inefficient. Same thing that happened to Ayton. You in that moment, half a second where you're looking this way where you should be looking that way, that's the difference. Like that's all that it matters. So in a league where they're at that level now, realistically, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard to have a team where you have your big guy who doesn't want to put 110%, you know.
So
Why? Why not?
so as we wrap up tonight, I'm going to ask you, I want you to grab a current player out of your psyche and throw it out there, and I'm going to hit it with a classic player, and then we'll hash that and roll out.
Okay. Current player. We'll go with Trae Young. I like that.
All right, I'm going to try to think of a good Isaiah Thomas.
I mean, okay. I like that.
Isaiah Thomas.
I like that even better because they both have that like fire attitude. Very nice.
Let's see.
Very nice.
How old is Trae Young? He's like what, 21?
Is he 22? I think he might be 21.
He is 22 years old.
I was right the first time.
I'm looking up Isaiah Thomas's first 2 seasons of stats. Let's look at that.
How old was he when he entered the league?
Oh, I'm sure he was probably close to 23 or 24. They didn't go in that young.
No, yeah, I mean they started way later for sure. I was just curious.
So Isaiah Thomas in 1982 averaged 22 points a game. It was his best season scoring in his career.
That's crazy.
Averaged 22 points a game, played 38 minutes. His field goal percentage was 47.5. He had averaged 4 rebounds a game and 7 assists. So let's look at Trae Young.
How is that? How do you score the best your first season though?
Man,
isn't that a bummer?
It's like his second. Well, no, I mean the core seasons when they were winning championships.
I mean, not in that way, but like, yeah. I mean, like, I don't know. I get it, but I don't know.
His core seasons there weren't much different. It was like 21 points. He was only like a point under. So, but
okay, so he was still there. Okay, so he was still there. Anyway, so what was Trae Young's?
Trae Young's second season in the league averaged 25 points a game. 3 rebounds, 9 assists. 9 assists.
That's his average this year?
Yeah.
Or no, his first season? That's crazy.
Second season. And his field goal percentage was 52.6.
That boy can shoot, man.
Now we have to factor in
crazy.
The defense.
I was gonna say the 3 ball. Yeah.
The 3 balls.
Okay.
Too.
So the things there.
Well, Isaiah shot the 3. He shot the 3 pretty well, actually. But no, it still wasn't utilized like it is now. So
defensively, though, I think you're right. I think that Isaiah Thomas would tear him up.
Yeah. So, or he would foul, or if they were playing, all right. So Trae Young was playing back then, he would definitely drop buckets, but he wouldn't last long with the intensive defense. If Isaiah Thomas was playing right now, he would absolutely score like crazy and just pretty much be Trae Young. So I honestly, like, I'm giving Trae Young a huge shout because I like Isaiah Thomas a lot. I think he's a great, well, skill wise, his attitude was a certain way for a certain reason, which I respect. But like, he was a great basketball player. As if I compare like the way that their careers are going, I feel like Trae Young is going to have he may go down as one of the best point guards to ever play. So I'm saying all that about Trae Young, but I mean, it's no arguability. Like, if you're having a one-on-one matchup, Isaiah Thomas is winning. Trae Young probably would tell me that, but I'm giving Trae Young the benefit of the doubt and saying that he is ridiculously close to winning this challenge against a legend. So that's pretty badass.
For sure. I mean, you know, footwork wise, ball handling wise, like Trae Young can get space anywhere. I just feel like eventually, I mean, especially if it was a one-on-one thing, like, I mean, Isaiah would wear him down. Even if you put him in a 5-on-5 thing, like the league would wear him down. Like there's a reason why Allen Iverson got hurt, like you had a harder league then on people. Like, granted, still, I mean, if it was a points game, Trae Young's shooting the ball better, like for sure. Yeah. That dude, I don't even. I do agree. I think that he could go down as the best point guard ever because he's on track with Curry. You
see so many different play styles in him. Like I said, he looks like AI. Looks like Dame. He's got that Curry, Kobe, the CP3. Like it's all there. Like he's got a lot of different places he pulls from, so that makes him dangerous. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean his IQ is amazing. Obviously, averaging 9 assists. Amazing. I don't know. I like his attitude, like his. I don't know. I think there's some attitudes and stuff that are kind of irritating, but I like his because he just wants to smoke. He's like, you know what? You want to talk smack? Let's go. Just like this video that they just posted. I just saw. I don't even know where it was at, but this dude was talking trash to him, and he hit a 3 in his face after pump faking him, and then just barely having enough space and just drained it. Like, I mean, why are you gonna talk smack to Trae Young? Like you see in this day and age, all these videos of these people growing up in high school. I saw Trae Young, you see them where they're in these gyms and the whole gym. Like, I don't even know what that would be like realistically. A whole gym packed full, screaming, taunting you, hating you, and you tear it up. I don't even know what that's like. Like,
yeah, that's awesome.
Crazy. But I mean, IT would do it too. Just saying, watching. I didn't watch all his high school videos, so I can't see his spunk from a young age.
They didn't have YouTube back then. Yeah.
No, now you can see it all.
Yeah, but it was a great matchup there. So thank you everybody for listening today to Tavern Geek NBA podcast. The ZakHammer is here.
Here and mighty.
Micah is here. We're shout out to D and Spice the Baller, Byron. We miss you guys.
For sure.
But remember, you catch us on Twitter at Mixmastic. Catch us on Instagram at Tavern_Geek. You can catch us on Facebook at just Tavern Geek. You can also find us on Patreon, where we are offering all kinds of cool things if you help support our podcast to you. Also, you can catch us out there on Spotify. That's where you'll find our podcast at. The majority of the time we are on Apple as well, Apple Podcasts. check us out. And yeah, that's it. You can Zach, let everybody know where they can find you at when you arise from the ashes in the social media like a flaming bird of fire.
I think I'm gonna stay hidden in my ashes for now. But after school and everything settles down, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But I'm just chilling for now.
But yeah, so again, Zach, thank you for being here. Thank you all
Thanks for having me.
Checking us out on Tavern Geek. If you get a chance, check out our other program, Kish YZ, our other friend YouTuber. He's got his own channel, which is pretty awesome. Especially his shoe videos. I love Derek's shoe videos. He gets on there and he's like, I got shoes. Derek is
he's a fellow shoebie.
Yeah, Derek is almost like it's like watching those Ryan's World videos where he's unboxing like the toys.
Hell yeah.
It's Derek unboxing shoes. He's like, ah.
I love it.
But yeah. All right, everybody. Tavern Geek is out and peace.
Peace.